A lot of people really put romance down, but it is the largest selling piece of fiction of any of it.
It's interesting, you know, when I first started writing, people would say, "Are you writing those little books?" Like I was writing little thin books, but my books were 120, 30,000 words. They weren't little books, but they thought of them as that. And I think because the romance industry started with little books.
The way I say it, I always say, and I write romance that goes all the way, they just laugh on that. So I really haven't gotten any problems with people saying that. It's actually got a plot, and a lot of my readers really like that. But it's interesting that if I don't put any sex in a story, whenever I release it, I don't ever get any comments. Whenever I do get the comments from my readers, they're not talking about the sex part, they're just talking about the story. Most of what I'm putting in there is the actual relationship between the two characters.
I never thought I would be a published writer because I only have a high school education. I didn't have opportunities that other people had, so it was kind of a very distant dream. I entered a contest in 2000. I had this book that I had recently written, and I sent that, the required pages. 2 weeks after I sent it off, they called me and they said, "Can you send the whole thing?" And then they called and they said, "We want to buy this and we don't want to wait until the contest ends, so we're taking you out." And it was not on the Texas Plains. So this is my very first published book.
I started out writing historical romance because it was so popular, and also I loved reading it. And I wrote 22 historical romances before I moved into mainstream women's fiction. I loved reading historical romances from Kathleen Widowist on that were really good and well written. I hated reading historical romances that the person didn't do their research.
I really love research, but I have to limit myself because I can get lost in research for days and days. But I always find unique things, unique details to add to my stories to make them realistic. And it's just a love too. I just love all parts of writing. So.
The main thing about writing romance is that you want to make it where the characters are believable. You know, you don't want to, I mean, there is a lot of things called love at first sight, and I really believe that. But a lot of times those get kind of, I don't know, unbelievable. Sometimes whenever you write that way, so you got to make sure that you stay true to character, but you need to stay true to your character too.
I think one thing that happens, and has always happened to me, is I do not call my people in the book characters. I call them people, and they become very real to me. I'm more interested in a well-rounded person, and my people, figuratively speaking, not really, I don't really see them, but it's like they walk into my office and they sit down and we begin to tell their story. They have to be very well developed as far as characters. They have to have a past and a secret and all the things that everybody has. And then I have to find the right person for them. And amid finding the right person for them, I have to write a plot that'll drive the book all the way through. It's kind of a journey. Sometimes it takes me a month to write the first chapter, and sometimes I write the last half of the book in a month. It's because they become so alive.
It's fulfilling something inside you. I get so much enjoyment out of writing. My stories, they entertain me, and sometimes I laugh, sometimes I cry. I've been known to use a whole box of Kleenex sometimes when I'm writing.
I always write at night, and it was about 2:30 in the morning, and my husband got up and he came in and he said, "What are you laughing at?" And I said, Grayson, who was one of my characters, just told me a joke I hadn't heard. So they become very much alive.
A lot of people, though, that I run into, they're like, well, I don't know where to start. And I'm like, well, you've got to just not worry about your audience. You don't worry about the audience. You write what you want to write. And once you get it out there, then your readers will find you.
I don't have to think long. In fact, before I finish one, I have a new one already in mind. It's already there. I don't know where they come from, but it's like they're just stacked up in my brain and just waiting.
I think it's evolving, and I love seeing it evolve. And it's one of the things that's evolving is I have romance in my mainstream books now, and fans seem to love that. But the romance is not central to the plot, and that makes the difference. And I just, I think it's so popular, and it stays, it shifts, but it stays. It's always stayed.
They long for stories that build something inside them, whether it be historical or modern day. They just need to escape kind of from the world, and I see romance becoming stronger and stronger.
Someone asked me on the road when I was touring, what characteristic do they have to have? And all of my people have to have forever. They're in it forever. I don't have, wild affairs along the way. It's finding that kind of love that lasts forever. And I think that's what draws people to romance.